So let's begin post-lunch session on time. We have a very exciting, interesting theme for panel discussion 3. The theme is human-centric AI and automation. Basically, this session will help us to understand that it is not human versus machine, but it is human with machine and how they can go along. So for this, we have very experienced panel over here. They have a vast experience in diverse industry and background. I will first invite all the three members on the dais and then I will introduce them to you. Moderator for panel discussion 3, Mr. Bhavaysh Karria. May I request you on the stage, please give him a round of applause. Welcome, Mr. Bhavaysh Karria. Dr. Jagdamba Prasad Joshi, known as JP Joshi, sir, please come on the stage. And Dr. Prasanth Nair, please join us on the stage. I will briefly introduce them to all of you. The moderator of the session is Mr. Bhavaysh Karria. He is currently Associate Vice President HR at Anupam Industries Limited. He brings over 25 plus years of experience across diverse industries, focusing on talent, culture, leadership. He himself is ICF certified coach. He is known for his people-first approach and aligning HR with business goals. In his journey, he has worked with different type of organizations, different type of industry. Say, to name a few, he was DGM with SR Group. He has worked with Jindal also. He has initially, in beginning of his career, he has worked with Gujarat Gas also. And now currently he is with Anupam Industries. Please clap and welcome Mr. Bhavaysh Karria. We have two speakers in this panel. First, I will introduce Dr. Jagdamba Prasad Joshi. He is currently working as a director HR with Schneider Electric, a Fortune Global 500 company, and leading HR functions for electrical and automation business, having 5 manufacturing plants, R&D, and commercial organizations. He is with this organization for 18 plus years and has a vast experience of working with Aditya Birla Chemicals, Intas Pharmaceuticals, and such type of diverse industries. Please clap and welcome him on the stage. Another speaker here for this panel is Dr. Prasanth Nair. And he is, by education, he is BTech, B Mechanical, and also having doctorate from IIM Ahmedabad. So that way he is connected to Ahmedabad. And presently he is CHRO of Crompton, Greaves, Consumer Electricals Limited. He is interested in mathematics, spirituality, and future of work. When I was looking for his profile, I saw in his LinkedIn that always student is his tagline. He is also an entrepreneur, and he was the founder of Zing HR. Please welcome Dr. Prasanth Nair. And before I hand over this session to Mr. Bhavaysh Karria, Dr. JP Joshi have a special icebreaker planned for you so that we can fight with this post-lunch syndrome. Yeah. Please.
Thank you. So it's my pleasure and honor to be all of you. So I have a very emotional connect with Ahmedabad because I started my career from Ahmedabad, and I've been part of 2 organizations, one with Academy of HRD as a research fellow and then Intas Pharmaceuticals. So wonderful learning experience and wonderful association and emotional connect with the city. So it's very difficult to keep audience busy, engaged, especially post-lunch, where temperature is little high, stomach is full, and temperature is cool. So you know what is going to be. So anyway, we thought, okay, we have a very interesting session on technology, AI and other thing, but let's go back to some roots. So just we'll check. I hope all of you have paper and pencil with you. So we'll do a quick exercise so that you come from a very lunch mood to a kind of a classroom session mood. Okay, you have, so we'll play a quick kind of a competition, exercise, and see who is the winner. Are you ready? Okay, so you take out your, are you ready? Yes. Okay, very simple. Don't think that I'm going to give you a very complex problem to solve and you have to use your AI to solve it. No. So very simple because it's a manual exercise. So what you have to do is, you have to make your signature. Right? It's simple, right? All of you do that. Anybody with thumb? Okay, no. Then I think task is little simpler. So you have to create as many signature as possible within 30 seconds. So just hold on. I'll say 1, 3, go. Yeah, on your paper. Plain paper. You have to, sorry, your own signature, right? You create as many signature as possible within 30 seconds. All instruction clear? Okay. All set? Okay. Start. Let's see who is the winner and we'll see how many signatures that you can make, signature of your own within 30 seconds. Okay, stop. How many more than 50? 50. Oh, there are. Claps. Clapping. Very nice. So, good. More than 40? Whatever, your signature. Signature, initial, you are comfortable with. I'll leave it to you. There is no further guidelines. Okay, more than 30? More than 30, okay. More than 20? Whatever you are comfortable with. More than 10? Almost everyone? Okay, perfect. I think clap for everyone. So, actually this was not the game. The game will start now, competition. So now you have to use the other hand, not your first hand, okay? Now, create as many signature as possible. Start with your other hand. सही नहीं हो रहा है, बिल्कुल नहीं हो रहा है बट धीरे धीरे हो रहा है. सॉरी, चेक बाउंस हो जाएगा. ओके. ग्रेट. ओके, स्टॉप. मोर देन 50? No, okay. Oh, yes, there is one. Okay. More than 10? Let's see. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. I think big round of applause for everyone. So, I think everyone, so anyone who missed it out or everyone tried? Have you tried? So, if you have tried, you are the winner. So, give a big round of applause to yourself. Okay, so this was an exercise. Basically, there is a lot of learnings around it. Right? I think you did not expect that I'm going to twist the game. So it was a change, right? How did you feel the change when I announced it? Very difficult. Somebody said कि ये तो कुछ panel member हैं, पता नहीं क्या करने लग गए, right? But somebody said very difficult, right? Somebody I heard हो रहा है, but धीरे धीरे हो रहा है, right? हैं? Sorry? सीखने को मिलेगा, learning. And what else? Yes, it's required when you are in a kind of a state where you need to revive yourself, you want to get into a different zone, perfect. So I think this is the change, right? Whenever we have any change hits us, or we start, or especially when it hits us, the first reaction is resistance, right? We say, ye kya faltu cheez aa gaya hai, right? And then second stage is, okay, let's understand it. And then gradually you get into it and become part of it, and then you become champion of that, right? But this flow keep on moving. So you cross one, another challenge may comes, another change comes. So I think with this evolving scenario, inside, outside the organizations, in the market, I think a lot of technological disruptions has happened, especially post-COVID. A lot of things are happening, moving into digitization and all. And one of the buzzword is AI, right? So it's all about change. How are we understanding it? What are the implications of it? What is there for me in it? And how to leverage it, right? I think this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. So with this thought, let me hand it over to Bhavaysh. Over to you.
Hello, hello. Am I audible? Everyone? Good. So, good morning. Good morning. गुजराती के लिए हमेशा गुड मॉर्निंग रहता है. क्यों? Because it involves good more earning. Right? So whenever Gujarati meets, you don't, आपको पता चल जाए उसको इंग्लिश बराबर नहीं आता है, तो वो गुड मॉर्निंग ही बोलेगा. बट उसके पीछे राज ये है, good more earning, right? So now you are awake? Yes. Good. So thank you very much everyone for participating in this lovely, lovely forum. And I thank AMA management and the chief coordinator, organizer, Mr. Deepak Bhatt, for inviting us in this forum and to give us an opportunity to conduct this session. So it's been lovely. I have been associated one or the other way with AMA for long duration. Since beginning when this new building startup, since then we have been visitor of AMA. So it's lovely journey we have seen. I welcome Dr. JP and Dr. Prasanth. I was specifically told his name is not Prasanth, Prasanth, right, sir? Absolutely. So I tried to remember that. Both gentlemen are lovely from rich background currently, especially in the technology background. So we'll have a very good learning experience from them. We'll have a new insights in terms of technology. So today's topic, human-centric AI with a sustainable in Industry 5.0, right? Sustainable opportunities. So to begin with, जैसे सर ने मॉर्निंग में बताया, we started with what Adil sir said it, 80% science and 20% art. So this session is focused on art, though we will be talking about science. So how the entire 80% of science is focusing and impacting 20% of art and vice versa. We'll try to learn from Dr. JP and Dr. Prasanth. So to begin with, I would like to put up one quote from Andrew Ng, who founded Deep Learning. Currently the scenario of human-centric AI is like, what he says, AI is like teenage attraction. So this teenage attraction, everybody talks about, but nobody knows how to attract it, or nobody knows inside what is there. So to begin with, I would like to request Dr. Prasanth to begin with your idea about human-centric AI, which is an element of Industry 5.0. Maybe spend some 5-7 minutes time to give a broad introduction about AI. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And it's such a pleasure being back in this great city. Ahmedabad is dear to me. Vastrapur is dearer to me. And Rambai, the old tea person in front of Ahmedabad, is even more dearer to me. So I requested Deepak Bhai saying that I'll go 5 minutes before so that I can see and meet him. Well, thanks Deepak Bhai and AMA for inviting me and allowed to share my thought. We're not going to, it's not that we got great wisdom. In fact, AI, I think the greater you know, you suddenly realize that how little you know about artificial intelligence. Okay, and this is not what I'm saying. This is being said by Professor Jeffrey Hinton, who's supposed to be the father of AI in University of Toronto, Canada. So it's like the Indian scriptures. The more you learn, the less you know. Okay. Recently, about 2 weeks back, we are all very inspired by the bravery of our soldiers. All of you have heard about Operation Sindoor. What is the difference in Operation Sindoor and, say, the earlier war of Kargil or any other war that was fought? Or for that matter, what's the difference between other wars and what's happening on Russia-Ukraine war? Absolutely. It's a technological warfare with heavy use of artificial intelligence. There's something called loitering drones. I don't know whether you've heard about that. Loitering drones, which actually pinpoints the target as it moves. So it's in a dynamic state. It actually changes the location of the target on a dynamic basis, on a real-time basis. A country like Russia, which has got X number times the army of Ukraine, is not able to inflict a decisive victory over Ukraine only because of what Ukraine uses as huge technology and use of drones. So I don't want to get into more into that. I just wanted to highlight this fact that be it medicine, be it education, be it warfare, today AI is there everywhere. Okay. And the key difference between AI and other technology would be the singular fact that AI is not just a technology. AI is a creator. Okay. AI can create technology. It's not a platform. It's not a tool. It's an agent. Okay. And there are 3 distinct levels of AI, right? The first level, the basic level, is what we call AI, where we say human in the loop, right? In which you are aware and you control what is being done. And that's what most of the corporations, that is what we use. We use it in hiring, we use it in performance management, we use it in training and development, and so on and so forth. The second phase becomes AI, human on the loop. And for those of you who've taken a ride in the driverless car, that's what it means, human on the loop. You cannot control it directly, but you are aware of what it's doing. The third is very interesting. It's human out of the loop, in which you are not able to control what this funny thing is going to do. You would have heard about hallucination, you would have heard about temperature control. All this comes there when you are not able to predict what your creation is going to do. Millions of years ago, there was some story of Bhasmasur. Have you heard about Bhasmasur? For those of you who do not know the story, Bhasmasur asked for a boon. He was a very devoted person. I don't know why he's called Bhasmasur, I don't know that much, but he asked for a boon. And impressed with his devotion, the gods granted him a boon. The boon was that to protect himself, he can put his hand on anybody's head and the head would disappear. That was the boon he got. So Bhasmasur started thinking that, let me be greater than Lord Shiva. And he started running after Lord Shiva. And Shiva suddenly realized that this is my creation. Now he has gone a step ahead of me. He's going to put his hand on me. And Shiva was running and he met our little friend Krishna there on the road. And he asked, why are you running, Shiva? Well, this fellow is after me. And this is the boon I got. Well, you got into a problem. So let's do one thing. You start dancing. And he started dancing, and very nicely Krishna put his hand on his own head. Shiva also did the same thing, and Bhasmasura also did the same thing. And his head vanished. Why I'm telling you the story is, be careful about what you create. The intention is always good. But what AI can do is, it can spin out of control. Okay, I will pause at this stage and get back to you with the specific questions.
Request JP sir to give your thoughts on this.
Yeah, very, thank you. So, in fact, I have a very short story to share with you. So, there was 5 friends, young friends, and they decided to go to jungle for a picnic. So, they just crossed their city and get inside the jungle and started enjoying flora, fauna, wildlife with the jungle. And suddenly they realized they are lost. And they were not sure how to get out of the jungle. So then they were discussing, okay, what is the solution? So one of the friends said, I think let's go straight, because we came from there, let's start walking straight. So at least somewhere we'll get out of the jungle. So they thought, okay, one of the solutions, that's it. So another second one said, I think let's go left, because my intuition says, if we go left, we will get out of the jungle and we'll be at our place. The third said, I think let's go right, because right is always right. Right? So, and the fourth one said, I think let's go back from the place where we came, so at least we will go there. But they were in the jungle where they were not able to find from where they came and where they want to go. The fifth one, little smarter one. So he said, okay, let me just think through it. Everyone solution has some plus minuses. And then he thought for a moment, and then he looked at the tallest tree. So then he climbed on the tallest tree and went on top of it and looked around. But he was also a little confused, because there were 3 cities. And he was not sure which city has to go, because he was not able to identify. But then he took out a smartphone, and then he opened his AI applications, and then he clicked 3 pictures, and he found out the details of the city. Then he figured out, okay, which city belongs to him. So then he came down, and then he said, I think let's move to this direction, we'll go back to our home. So building on his, instead of Bhasmasur, if you have the technology, if you have the, and you know how to use it, it can be a big blessing for you. I think we are in a world where we have technology, and AI is going to be a big one, which we should know in terms of what exactly it is, how to use it, and for what purpose. I think our life will be very shortened and we'll be more empowered and enabled. So this AI is going to empower people, empower leaders, empower businesses, empower society if you use it effectively. So I think this is the initial thought that I have to share with you.
Add some pessimism also.
Please.
Okay. The other facet of AI is, the faster, better and cheaper AI gets, more questions will be asked about more jobs. So on that note, I hand it over back to you.
Yeah. So it's very fascinating, 3 new aspects which has come up in terms of human AI interaction. What I want to ask is that in terms of industry, we have been reading a lot of stuff in social media and otherwise that AI is going to take away our job. And we have been reading a lot of stuff that so-and-so company has reduced 8,000 manpower, 5,000 manpower because AI has taken over. And here the HR fraternity would be interested to know that what is the trend in industry? What is happening actually? In fact, there are another way of news which is being broadcasted is that AI is also helping for the faster operation, cheaper operation, efficient way of working. It is helping employees. The other way, we do not know. So what exactly industry is working upon, and what is the trend in terms of you being in the technology domain? You are already running a platform called Zing HR. So what do you think, how would you be able to integrate this AI with such kind of technology interventions?
So, so for example, let me take one job, like coding, right? The coding, 30% of the manpower can easily go, because functions like testing, training, is far better done by AI than humans. Two advantages: one, it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's an accretive learning. When I say accretive learning, is that its learning is not constant. It can learn from the ecosystem. So it's on a continuous learning mode. Okay. 1 week back, I saw a tweet from a radiologist. Okay. And the radiologist is saying that the AI tool can actually read much faster and almost the same efficiency as me. McDonald's, please hire me. This is a tweet that gone viral actually. So, and broadly speaking, let me put it this way, there are 3 kinds of jobs where the purpose or the objective itself is no longer valid. Okay, for example, data entry job. You don't need data entry job. The job is gone. Second, there are jobs where a percentage of automation has come in. Now that could be 5%, that could be 50%, that could be 80%. And a lot of us are in that space actually. So if I use AI, I'll be better off, or if my friend uses AI, he'll be better off than me who do not use it. So that's the second category. The third category are jobs which are created because of AI, which is about ethics, which is about prompt engineering, which is about networking. I'm talking about system networking. So there are jobs that are created. Will the jobs getting created be more than the first category? Answer in the interim would be no. But we also know the fact that banks, for example, automation came in 20 years back. Did the number of people go down in banks? No, right? It went up over time. So over time, the jobs may increase, but there will be pain in the interim.
So what I understand from the AI perspective, most of the transaction related job, especially if you look at in the service industry, wherein the nature of transaction is quite different, it's computer to computer or maybe mobile to computer, those kind of connectivities are there. I understand once upon a time, my dad was going to print a passbook in bank. We have never visited to print a passbook. In fact, my daughter don't know what is passbook. So this is the kind of automation is happening, while it is also, as you rightly said, the changing the nature of job. But when we look at the other part of the industry, like manufacturing, wherein still a lot of manual jobs are happening, and many of the manufacturing industry is still not that organized, especially if we look at the MSME or SME kind of, which is largest compared to the large companies which is operating. So Dr. JP, you have been into very manufacturing setup for quite a long time, and you are currently heading the HR for electrical and automation in your Schneider company. So how do you see AI affecting manufacturing as a process, as well as manufacturing with the employee's life cycle or skills required for that?
And I think very right question. So in fact, those who do not know about Schneider Electric, so we are a global organization. We have presence in more than 100 countries. And India also, we are about 42,000 people, 35 factories spread all parts of the country. and we manufacture electrical equipments, products, solutions, softwares for energy management. So, in fact, I've been working with this organization for past 18 years. And I started my career from a factory, and I was there for 5-6 years. I remember when I was there, a lot of manual activities were there. Today, we have few factories, we call them the lighthouse factories. So these are the smartest factories. Smartest factory means entire supply chain is AI enabled, technology enabled, whatever the term that you say, it's there. In a single dashboard or your smartphone, you know what is your plant capacity, at what capacity the plant is running, where is the challenge in terms of the whole supply chain perspective, but at the same time, the other aspects of it, your electricity consumption, your other compliances part of it. The entire ecosystem is in one dashboard, and you can look at each of thing. Offline, you can do some simulations also in terms of if you have to increase the productivity, in terms of how you can do that, what parameters need that you can play with, in the sense that you can do simulation and see the best productivity and what may go right, what may go wrong in those old simulation, and then you replicate the similar kind of situation or the decision making in your life scenarios. So I think the industries or the factories have transformed a lot. Only thing, you have to make some investment and keep your people updated around it and make them train in terms of how to leverage this whole evolution. So that's one part of it. In fact, you just kind of going back to your previous question, whether this AI will replace us or not. So definitely not. It is not going to replace you. But who will replace you? The person who is using their AI, right? AI will not replace you. The person who is using AI will replace you. If you go back to my previous story where 5 friends were there, the 5th one who used that technology and the AI, that person will replace the other 4, right? The person who is using it, not the technology. Technology will always empower you, enable you to make you more efficient, make you more productive, and I think the enhance the speed of delivery that you have. Yeah.
I'll just add to this, Bhavaysh bhai. So AI, what technology can do, they're brilliant in pattern recognition and pattern prediction. That's what they're brilliant in. Humans just can't beat them at that. Okay. Humans cannot beat them at a number of hours they can work, because we feel tired, right? 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is. I know Gujarat is a hard-working state, maybe 14 hours, but after 14 hours, to sona to padega na. Ego sona nahi padega.
Correct.
Okay. So pattern recognition, hard work, that's AI is brilliant. So if we try to compete with them on this thing, we will lose. But there's something that AI can never do. That's about reflection. That's about emotional connect. That's about dil ka baat. That AI can never do.
20% of the
So that's
science.
where we and the combination can work wonders.
Super.
And in our function, we are both a science and an art, right? We are mathematics and language. We are sociology and labor laws. The combination of a person who knows AI and brilliant tools of AI with their great heart and mind can work wonders.
Super. Very good.
Also, and we have this great, as a society, we are a very resilient society. Let's not undermine it. Dating apps have come, right? I'm sure some of you would have gone to dating apps. Haath mat utana. Okay. Dating apps have come, but Shadi.com is also alive, right? Replace nahi hua hai. Okay. So, so we, as a society, we know how to manage it. For another example, I'll give you. This, if you gone to this Fern and Petals, Fern and Petals? So, and, I wanted to book some flowers actually. So if you go and select this thing, depending on the time of the day and depending on the device that you go, the price will change. Right? Dynamic pricing. So my secretary told me, sir, आप 3-3:30 बजे बुक करिए और अपना लैपटॉप से बुक करिए. So she's figured out a way by which she can get the minimum price. So human intuition, human intelligence is always beats the AI.
Absolutely. So I loved this analogy of dating and shadi app both going together.
Where did you go to?
मेरा तो my father was the major shadi.com. Correct.
You know my wife, so please keep quiet.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I believe my job is my shadi.com and my AI that I'll be using to upgrade. That will be my dating app. Fantastic. So coming back to more relevant to my fraternity, HR fraternity, that what as a HR should do practically. Okay, we understand that we have to do learn a different kind of skill set, that is AI and chat GPT and those kind of stuff. But in totality as a HR function, we want to keep it more relevant to the organizational objective and help organization in terms of meeting the objectives and goals. What HR should do and how they should adapt new strategy or devise the new strategy in terms of contributing to this. JP.
Okay, so I think HR is a very enabling function for the organization. And when we say HR, so I think the key learning that I have learned based on my own experience as well as from my various bosses that I have ever had, it's all about credibility and authenticity. Right? If you build in this organization through your behavior, through your actions, I think that's the best contribution that you can make to the organization, one, from as a function. And I think with a lot of technology evolution and AI, I think this gives you a very solid foundation to build that credibility and that authenticity in the system in terms of having the right data, the pattern that you get, the insights that you get with a lot of data generated through this, or application of AI in terms of speed, in terms of the delivery of your services, delivery of solutions, or delivery of the actions that whatever you have. I think these are the things that we should leverage this technology, and the work that all these technology will do is your 80%. And 20% that you have to apply your own common sense, which makes, what makes real big impact to the organization. I think this is the thing that HR has to look into it, right? There are so many applications, so many products, so many solutions in the market. But as a HR, you should know what will create the best impact to the organization, whether you will say hiring, whether you say engagement, DI, whatever it is. And that judgment, you have to make it. And that's your 20%, right? And as a HR, I think you should be very mindful of it. Don't go with your all fancy things. Apply it, but you have to judge what will make big impact in this organization. As a HR, I think we should focus more around it. And that's the game of 20%, which we have been talking about it. So with this.
Super. So human element will always be there, as it was also discussed in the morning. Empathy, compassion, credibility, trust, transparency, those traits and those skill set, or maybe those kind of emotions we have to run in our mind or our heart to establish the connect with our people, that will be always there. What my question is that, is there any model of new technology-driven society which is being developing, especially in terms of data, as you rightly said, like lot of data will be generated, lot of analytics tools will help in analysis also. Going forward, there will be a challenge in terms of data privacy and those kind of stuff, especially from HR perspective, if I would request, because globally and at the country level, the national level policies are being implemented. But from the HR perspective, because there will be a lot of stuff you will be peeping into their personal lives, right? Like recruitment, what we do is that we do a lot of Facebook reading and stuff like that. We do a lot of human observations. But in terms of collecting all this data, whether with permission, without permission, because as of now there is no clarity. So how do you think we can handle this?
So I'll take a step back, okay? But you asked a very specific question. There are a lot of questions in that big question, actually. So let me take it in parts. Okay. So first of all, don't choose the tech tool. Identify what's the business purpose. Okay, identify what's the business purpose. I think this was the first panel, first panel especially mentioned this about. Do not do anything without identifying and clearly articulating what's the business objective and why you are doing what. Okay. Because typically what the general advice that is told in technology firms as well is that you are 70% focus on people and processes. What's the objective, what's the outcome? If you get that right, the 20% can be the technology that you use, and the next 10% can be the algorithms that you use. Don't get it in the FOMO state of mind. It's very tempting to go to new technology and say that I see a technology, I go to a conference, or my friend implements it in his organization, I will use the same thing here. Okay. My advice to all of you is that do not get into that. Focus on the company objectives. Why are you doing what? If you get that right, then it's easier for you to measure the outcomes. And if you measure the outcomes, you can always link up to the objective. That's the best way you can create a case for return on investment for you as well. Okay. As far as the data privacy is concerned, there are, as per the European laws and Indian rules, there are 3 kinds of data. Okay. One is called personal data that you cannot touch. The second is called private data. Okay, which is private to me, but which I am open to sharing. For example, my date of birth. I'm not going to tell you guys, but that's basically private. Okay, what is personal data is my mental condition, my health detail. That's personal, you can't touch it. The private data, you can touch it with permission. Public data is open. Okay, so there are 3 levels of data. So from an HR point, you are sitting on the largest oil field, so as to say, the data field, right? You're sitting on the oil. Be careful about how you handle this, especially if you're right now, if you're an affiliate of a multinational. Going forward, even Indian companies will have that very strict data rules. So don't play with private data, personal data. Private data with permission, public data is public data. So that's the thing. And the third point that you mentioned, how do I go about this journey, map this journey? The first step is, I would call, get the information right. Information right. What information you require for your objective. So for ease, and Adil inspired me always some years back into giving it in acronyms and some combinations. So I call it 3 I's. One is get the information right. Second is the organization, there will be various data pools. So get it integrated. So information, integration. Then bring in intelligence. Because then your intelligence will become a business tool. Don't get intelligence for the sake of intelligence. It will not justify anything. Your ROI comes from intelligence used for business purpose. So information, integration, intelligence. Thank you.
And I think that information and intelligence together will give a kind of new thoughts or new way of working. Absolutely right.
So yes, I have a few points. So just to elaborate on it, so sharing some of the examples so that you understand it very well. Data privacy, very, very unique example that I have. So when this tool was upgraded in our organization, and there is a user access, you get a profile, you have a role, and then there are the backend team who provide you an access to certain information and very personal, public, and the confidential, restricted information. So the coding is like when your profile is updated as a HR business partners, you get some access code. What information, to what extent that you will have that. So those labels of access is like HR00, HR001, HR002, and this our digital team provide an access based on our CHRO's approval. So in one incident, what happened? Fresh management trainee. For management trainee, we have called HR010, right? That was the information code, access code given to the management trainee in HR. And then based on the scope and responsibilities goes up and up. By mistake, management training got HR001, which is the highest level where the CHRO has that access, and management training has all information. Nobody figured out, right? But in overexcitement, MT was also not aware that there is a system because it's a new in the system, but he has full information of the organization. Comp, everything. And this guy was superb in terms of whenever any information, data is asked, this person put in the slide, all those analytics and all that. And suddenly we saw like, how come we getting all the information? And in presentation, so it was a consolidated information. Suddenly we could figure out, okay, he has full information. And then there was a big, in terms of issue in the organization. So that's the issue of anyway we managed that. Second incident was in terms of the input, right? So because all your machines, the all system works on your system. We are very happy that our system throws a very automatic work anniversary celebrations, your 5 years work anniversary, birthday greetings and all that, and advance notification of your retirement and exit process and other thing. So we suddenly observe people are giving us complaint, okay, it's I got a birthday greetings, but it's not my birthday, right? And I'm about to retire 10 years later, but now I've got a retirement intimation, right? So I think these are the incidents happened when there were few, not too many, but happened, but it's all about employee experience. Then we went back. So then we realized, okay, there is only one person who is entering the data, right? So then we changed the model with evolution of technology. So now all personal information is submitted by employee and verified by the HR. So we changed the model. So at least there are two eyes to validate some of the information. So that's why in this whole AI world or the technological world, data input is also important. Anyway, machine will process as per your instruction, the kind of tool, that application that you have developed, and how to interpret it and use that data, that's the other thing. So I think these are some of the examples, whatever Prasanth mentioned about it.
So I think these are the kind of use case wherein we feel and we observe and we have experienced such kind of incident within our own way of working, within our domain of working. This brings me to the very important question on the governance and risk mitigation model in terms of AI as a whole in using the in the industry. Yeah.
Some, we want to ask some questions from the audience just to break the.
Yes.
To check whether they're sleeping or.
Yeah, I think I have one more exercise. Let's stand up. Stand up.
Yes. It may not be bored. Yeah,
looks like, okay. Simple exercise. Acha, so just stretch. Okay. Acha, people who are allowed to sit, if you have used AI coach, artificial intelligence coach for your development purpose, please sit down. Okay, very few. Okay, artificial intelligence coach. Okay, if you have heard of it, please sit down. Not heard of? Okay. Go to a site called Valence, VLENC, that you will get to know, okay, what is artificial coach? It is artificial intelligence coach. It's a coach who talks your language, and you ask any question, the coach will tell you, okay, what to do. Okay. How many of you have used or experienced AI-enabled applicant tracker system? Applicant. No, sit down. No, please. You are the people who have used the advanced version of AI applications. Okay, those who have used or worked in AI-based applicant tracking system, please sit down. Very nice, good. Okay, so those who are using ChatGPT, please sit down. Okay.
Good one. Any questions?
We'll open the discussion to the audience. Any questions if you have? Please.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, good afternoon, panel. I'm Deepti Manchanda. I work in the talent development, that is learning and development area of HR. So I want to know that what learnings and courses should we be investing in to keep ourselves abreast with the AI and the automation. Like I have enabled AI coach for my business, but when it comes to what exactly I as an HR person should be investing in so that I continue to remain a relevant HR person, I cannot say 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line. I resonated with Rajeshri when he said 6 months KRA goes to a toss after a year. So maybe 3 years from now, if I want to continue to be in the industry and I understand that AI will continue to boom, what should be the right? Like there was a time when we didn't know HR. We knew that, okay, there was a course, MBA in HR, and people who get into that course can learn more about HR. But with so much of information overdose, what will be the right set of learnings or courses or areas for an HR person to invest in so that we continue to remain market relevant? That's the question. Thank you.
So I'm assuming that you want to continue in this area, means like the talent development area. That's the assumption I'm making. So, let's look at, go to, some of these things go to the first principles. What would your target segment want? Okay. What would be your target segment would be the employees, senior level, middle level, junior level. What would be their requirement? Yeah, I'm saying. No, I'm coming to it. I'm coming. I understood the question. So, apart from specifics I'm not getting into. What is it that, how will our learning journey change? Okay. Because there was a time when you had to deliver content. And you had to deliver in person or online or whatever that mode is. So one is the content and one is the medium. The content of knowledge is gone. Right? What you now need to do is to train people or equip people to some of the basic competencies that they would need in terms of agility, in terms of mindset, in terms of how to work with machines. So that is a distinct change as far as the content is concerned. You don't have to give knowledge to them now. Knowledge is easily available. Also the learning mode. We come from a generation where we can sit in 3 days and learn something. The future generation is not going to do that. Okay. If you map these two things, you have a fairly good idea about what your future employees would need. Apart from specific, I'm not getting into specifics. Specific is not very, it's easy curated. So from your point of view, what is critical is the design of the interventions. How would you design various interventions to cater to this evolving need of an employee journey? So to me, if I were to pick up one trait that you need to pick up is the fundamentals of training design. All of us have studied training design in our MBA days, like, oh, sab chala gaya hai abhi. So solutioning the content, number one. Number two is, as we go on, there was some time back I said technology doesn't do anything. It's the capitalism and the commercial orientation that changes. So your focus on how best and how cheap you can deliver what will be very critical. So content, measuring outcomes, and ability to understand the human being would be critical. So design also includes, rightly, wrongly, unfortunately, fortunately, if you have some understanding of the way the tools and how it is designed, it helps you in your design as well. So, you can ask me further questions. This is a good question. Others may be having the question. You can further ask me on this. Yes. Changing. 110% it will change. Absolutely. Absolutely. And some of you sitting in this room, or each one will have to probably, see, I'll go a step back. We are all very good in solving technical problems where there is a best practice. सेल्स आदमी है, सेल्स ट्रेनिंग देना है, dime a dozen trainers are there, उसको बुलाओ, ट्रेनिंग दे दो. Tomorrow's challenge is that you don't know what is the problem. And therein you have to create an response system in which you will actually you have to create waves. You cannot ride on somebody else's wave. You have to create waves for your context, your organization, saying that this is the solution that will be best suitable. And those HR people who are able to do that will be the people who will thrive and do well. So there are no best practices. Yeah.
Yes,
You want to add?
please.
Good afternoon, panel members. I am Dr. Milind Vora from Anand. I have a very open question for all three of you, sir. Like, what is happening is at large sectors or multinational corporations, people are talking, or it is a buzzword of AI and HR, AI and all that. But at MSME level, they are still struggling. So, sitting in your capacity, what would your suggestions be for the MSME sector to adapt these new innovations or changes? Thank you.
Okay, I think again, especially the new MSME and all that, I think the thing that we've been discussing about what is the need of your organization. I think that's very important, and what you want to achieve out of it, which direction that you want to go, and what are the solutions available and how you can leverage them for your success. That's very important. Identification of the need and what will best suit you. And accordingly, you have to just design, customize, and use it for your purpose. So that's one thing. And second, so in fact, just clubbing some of the things. AI, again, I remember like when I was working with Intas when I started, so that time email, computers were started, but a lot of manual work. I and my boss, generally I was the junior most as a management trainee. So we used to filter out all the CVs based on various criterias, B Farm, BSc, freshers, 1 to 3 years experience, 4 to 5 years, individual, contributor, managers, role-wise, regional, zonal, all kind of different sections were there, and they were put in a bundle form. And I remember one incident with my boss. So he was very, very organized on these things, and very particular also. We also spent 1 to 2 hours on screening the CVs and putting on that 1 to 2 hours now replaced by the AI these days. And one fine day, he asked me, okay, just call B-Farm 4 or 5 years of experience people, that's the bundle, and you just pick up 4 or 5 and call them for interview. Then as a management training, I said, there are 100 CVs. And you are saying 4 or 5 pick up and call them. So there are a lot of other also. Sometimes you've lightly said, I want lucky people in the organization, right? So that's one. But in fact, recently when I was just talking to him that I'm going to Ahmedabad talking on the AI, So then was talking, okay, what should I speak and other things. So I did not, this is not a pre-prepared, I'm just doing it now. He was talking about all these things, and then we'll say, okay, some of the things that we used to do, now nobody is using it, and especially in my current organization, and we are using technology and all those things. Well, that time we used to apply AI. I said, no, it was fully manual. No, it was Apna intelligence, right? So I used to apply Apna intelligence. So that's actually, as an organization, as a HR, I think you have to use AI, but your Apna own intelligence, which is your 20%, to really understand what will really make the biggest impact in the whole value chain, where you are serving, where is the problem, what technology, what AI, kind of AI, that will support your business decision making and adding value to the entire value chain, which will create more impact, which make your organization more successful.
In fact, I'll just add to that point what is made, that you are small is your biggest advantage. Because what technology has done in the last few years, it has actually made the operating field much more equal. So look at some of the startups that have come. They came with no funding. They're able to take on the big daddies of the, and the big daddies are now forced to acquire the very companies that actually competed. That's actually a tribute to the fact that they recognize the innovation that is being done. In fact, large companies take time to change. It's it takes time for the elephant to dance, right? But small companies are nimble. You can actually create centers of excellence. And another myth is that technology is expensive. Technology is not expensive. Technology is not expensive. In fact, one of the reasons why we are talking so much about AI was there 10 years back also. But we have actually, the last few years, I've seen a reduction of the operating costs for AI. So AI and any technology platform is not expensive. It's the mindset that is required, saying that I'm going to automate this. Crompton, we work with a large number of suppliers, and some of them, you should look at some of the automation that they have done. We have learned from them the amount of automation they have done in their factories. So it's a myth that small companies cannot use AI or technology. In fact, they are much better suited to use AI and whatever technology.
I think one more element you can see is that, as a HR person, we are in the office. When we start going into plant and start understanding the field level issues, let's say the current MSME segment, maybe they are working in the older technologies, but you never know that your boss or maybe CEO is already working on the advanced level of replacement of the entire technology. That can change the entire HR scenario. So the more we visit in the plant, the more we partner with them, understand their technology, and then you can understand that very well. That will give you the adaptability to shift your HR strategy.
Some naughty questions are coming.
Yeah, please.
Adil also wanted to ask
Yeah. So my name is Murali Krishna. I just want to, I'm a little bit curious about my, younger HR colleagues here. So yesterday I read, IBM introduced AI and 200 plus HR people have been deselected from the system. If that is the scenario, what would be the careers of so many HR young professionals sitting here?
Very interesting. You want what kind of answer you want? You want a Saturday evening good answer? Or you want a good answer so that, it's a dry state, so I can't say anything. So there's one good answer, one honest answer. See, I got a rule, I think according to me, 33 to 40% of the current HR roles will not be there in 3 years' time. Okay. Now you can ask me, what are those roles? Those roles are roles which you use only hand. Any mechanical roles that if you are doing a mechanical role, coordination role, data entry role, payroll role, I don't think this role will sustain. It could be the charity of the organization and the concerned HR head because of which that role is existing. It need not exist. There will be a lot of roles that will get changed. I'm actually going back to what I said in theory, I'm actually explaining in HR. There'll be a lot of roles that will undergo a huge amount of transformation. If you remember Dave Ulrich model, HR people who are sitting here, I assume a lot of the administrative expert role will go. Okay. The process champion role, that will undergo a lot of change. And you better understand how AI can impact and make it more efficient and effective, because that will be the future. The roles that will stay in HR are roles that are more about change and being business partner. About understanding, to my friend earlier, she asked the question, understanding what is it that my business head needs? What is it that this employee needs to be more productive? Those are the roles wherein a head and heart needs to work. Those roles will stay and stay for a good amount of time. Sorry to give a hard-hitting number, but that's a reality. Let's prepare for the reality.
Absolutely. The IBM report recently came and I observed that. Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, panelists. I am Pushpanjali Hyal. I am heading business for Thomas Assessments in the entire Gujarat. So my question to all of you would be, the discussion was going on among the layoff which happened from IBM. 8,000 employees were laid off globally from the human resource department. So adding on to that, I would ask that in the rush of adopting automation, are we doing enough not just to build tech infrastructure, but the emotional and ethical foundations that protects human dignity at work?
What is the question?
She's referring about...
But what is the question?
So my question is, in the rush of adopting automation, are we doing enough not just to build tech infrastructure, but protecting the emotional and ethical foundations that protects human dignity at work?
Okay, so I look it from a very different perspective. So when we are in a business, so business will run like a business, right? There are various organizations, they have their own ethos in terms of looking at both the aspects of it. And in our India also, we have a lot of big houses who are very, very people-centric, right? And very strong in terms of they take care of their people irrespective of the business cycle, whether going up, down, wherever stage they are. Till the last moment, they will take care of their people until the last option is to just lay off. There are fast-moving organizations who are very, very agile in terms of doing their business modeling, and human resource, they consider them as one of their building block of the organization, like other machines and people. So accordingly, they will take decision, and in this process, some people will go out of the organization. But what is more important are for people to stay relevant. That's more important, right? Because if you see with this whole evolution, different ways of working are also evolving. Like there are a lot of flexi working, freelancing are happening. I've seen in my organization, there are many people who are done some startup work, failed miserably, coming back to the organization as a full-time employee. Some full-time employee going back to doing some freelancing. After gaining 10 years of experience, they are becoming a freelancer. There are a lot of freelance platforms are available, like just like Uber, Ola. I'm just giving some names. I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying like flexing it. Wisdom Circle. So Wisdom Circle is for post-retirement people. Flexing it for all freelancers. You get registered. You get a lot of assignments there. Employment and work, there is no scarcity. Lot of work is there, but approach is very different. Somewhere you are doing full-time employee, somewhere you are doing part-time employee. In previous discussion, we were saying you are a freelancer, you are working for 5 organizations with NDA signed. So forms of working are changing. It is just don't go by this news. It is a one data, but there is a lot of context around it. I think stay relevant, stay relevant, right? One of my HR guru used to say, I say, okay, what is the characteristic of a HR? So he used to say the combination of agile and a lazy. So you should be agile in terms of understanding what's happening, understand it, apply it, and be little lazy also, so that you know, and you being lazy means you should also say who will do it for you, either technology or some other support system in the organization. So you should have a very fine balance of agility and laziness. so to run the complete ecosystem. So I think don't worry, a lot of jobs will be there, forms will change. That's my take on it.
Thank you.
I just want to, demolish one myth here, actually. There was a time when getting sacked from the job was considered a taboo. It was loss of dignity. I think this generation should not have that mindset. I would appeal to all of you not to have that mindset. It's part of a career thing. And you can come and go, means there was a time when especially the diversity panel, one of the important things about diversity, equity, inclusion is that career and biological life seems to be on the same trajectory, right? There is a certain period that 23 you get into job, then you do an MBA, then you get into job, 60 years you retire. That's the typical trajectory. Today it's very different. You can be job, you can study, you can get laid off, you can come back, you can get a startup. So that cycle you need to remove from your head. And there is no stigma or, aspersions cast if a person is laid off, because the person could be laid off because of the technology wave. His job could be outsourced, his job could be merged because of merger acquisition. So I don't think in this generation you should even have that stigma or the thought. But having said that, I think you should always make yourself capable for the challenges ahead. And the best way to do it is what Adil mentioned earlier about being agile. And number 2 is about improve your what I call LQ factor, which is learnability factor. Keep learning. Ask yourself in the last 6 months, what is the one single thing that you have learned? If the answer is yes, then you have a seat. If the answer is no, it's difficult.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks. With this, sir, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to add one point that so many of the questions asked, you must have found the answers beating around, not getting to the people to answer. And the fact is that no one really knows the answer. As of now, lots of us who sit on the we are literally force-fitting an answer. We really don't know the answer of what is going to be emerging, because the pace at which the change is coming, we really don't know what further pace it will take on, all right? So if anyone out here pretends to be an expert amongst all of us who says we really can see what's happening, no, it's not like that. But the fact is that the only answer to it, as I told you, in the morning, there is no expert. Every new experience is a new experience. You don't know what the situation is. Only thing is that approach it with an open mind. Approach it with a learning thing, that if I have to learn a new thing, I'll learn the new thing. And what are the skills you will learn to develop? I think you asked that question. I think what you should do is you should keep looking at your job and say, is there something that technology can now do which will make my job more efficient, faster, better, sharper? And if technology can, if you are writing a letter which is a salary letter that your salary is getting revised, find out if ChatGPT can do a better thing. Find out is there some other technology which can do that job better. So whatever you are doing, just see that the available technology, can it help you to do a better output on your job? But if you really ask about the answers, I don't think we know the answers.
Thank you.
I want to say something. I always, how many of you have watched this movie called Oppenheimer? Yeah, Oppenheimer there's a lovely scene actually. This guy, Oppenheimer actually walks up in a army fatigue into a lab, right? Into the lab, and he says that I'm in army fatigue and this is what the general told me to wear. And there is this Nobel laureate Rabi, I think Rabi, whom actually he got the Nobel Prize for the microwave discovery. And he says that, he uses some good words, I can't say it here. He says that get this suit off you. And he asks why. And he says that our job is to be a better version of ourselves. Okay. Do your job, which is always improve on what you are doing. Don't try to imitate somebody else. Okay. And I end with a Sanskrit sloka which says that amantram aksharam nasti, nasti moolam anushodham, arogya purusha nasti, yojaka tratra durlabha. It means that there is no syllable from which a mantra cannot be made. There is no herb from which a medicine cannot be made. But what is rare is the person who can get it done. So that's all us who can get it done and bring change and bring technology into the organization so others have a better life. Thank you, and God bless.
I think this is a lovely sum up. Thank you very much. Thanks, JP.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, all the panel members.